Hi, Kyle. I like that you jumped right in and gave suggestions right away. So that's interesting. Yeah, I like that you took the type out of there and that the edges of the hand are smoother. It does sort of look like 3D. I do think you should go for it if you really want to be a 3D artist. Right off the bat, you got to, show it to people who are probably pretty simple in general. Okay, I like these colors. I think that's super hot. What is it? Teal works really well with the gray. I like that it's pared down. This looks nice, nice and aligned, consistent. Okay, I'm not going to read this. I'll read it when I grade it, but not right now. So two things graphic designers are always battling are hyphens and widows. Widow is one word on a line. And a hyphen, you know what a hyphen is, so you want to edit both of those things out. The only time they don't do it is if they do a book, because there's just too much. But for small things like a standards guide or any kind of like corporate report or anything like that, they always edit it out. All right, see, that's a widow right there. So there's a couple things that you can work on right away, I can tell without even going any further. You want to be consistent with placement. So over here, you can see that the paragraph starts about, I don't know, ½ inch from the edge of the paper, but then down here, it's almost butted up against it. So you want to start body copy in the same place. You want it to be the same size, the same font. You want it to have the same leading. You want to be consistent. All right, so are you saying you're going to allow the designer to use every single one of these fonts when they work with your logo? I don't think you do because it'll make your brand look super inconsistent. So what you want to do is choose one typeface and then show the variants in that typeface that the user's allowed to use. For example, Rachel's allowing people to use this font and this font. Let me see if she goes into that any further. Nope. Nope. Okay, here's one from Estrella. She's saying that the designer is allowed to use Century Gothic and they can use bold or just the regular. So that's kind of what that section of a standards guide is for. Colors look good. I love that crazy teal. It's really great for a 3D artist. And you're going to allow the viewer to use it in these different ways, which is fine. But again, hyphens, widows, incorrect uses, everybody's favorite. Don't put this crazy rainbow gradient on here. Don't put a filter. That's fun. So you can show these and still be like pretty consistent with the design and the aligning. So align the type, give each bad example, just like a centimeter of space all around it. It's definitely the fun part of the guide, but it's also a very, the standards guide is a very strict, tight document. That's appropriate. I wish everybody had put the measurement all around it. If you're going to say 10 pixels, though, make it look like 10 pixels, be consistent. So this is your paper stock, head letter, okay, envelope and business card. Let me zoom in on that and see what we're talking about. All right, I'm not sure what's what. Okay, so this is the business card, or is this the envelope? This is the envelope. Keep in mind that there would be a big fat stamp covering your hand, and then the stamp that the post office puts on a stamp, that date and wavy lines. So consider maybe even taking your hand, putting it to the left, etc. And if this is a letter, you wouldn't have an email address or a phone number on there. It's just a letter. Is this your logo? If so, you want to follow your own rules about pixels and where the type goes and that sort of thing. So I'm going to give you guys a little more time on this to refine it. I want you to keep working on it. And again, if you want to be a 3D artist, consider at least making that glowing part in the bottom of your hand a little more three-dimensional. All right, people are pretty basic. Like if you show them 3D, they know you do 3D. It's pretty simple like that. All right, let me know if you have any questions.